We're now in the center of Mtskheta, which is the old capital of Georgia. It was the capital until about the 5th century, and then the king transferred it about 20 kilometers down the river to Tbilisi. And so this is the cathedral church, which is the main seat of the Georgian Orthodox Church, and it's surrounded by this wall from about the 11th century. And down there, streets with lots of souvenir shops and restaurants. There's half a dozen restaurants going up that direction. And here is a modern block done in a classical style for the tourist information. The church itself was built in around the 11th century, and it's the Cathedral of the 12 Apostles. It was called after the 12 Apostles because, according to legend, the church, it's an apostolic church, which means that it goes back to the apostles themselves, and in this case it was the Apostle Andrew, who was one of the original 12 apostles. It's probably a myth, but that was later added. But the church definitely goes back to the 4th century. So it's probably, it is one of the oldest national Christian churches. And it's just predated by the Armenian church, which is the country just down to the south, and the church in Rome. So they were founded around 303 and 313, and Georgia followed in 327. A man called Nino, who became Saint Nino, whose church of the Holy Cross is up on top of the mountain behind the cathedral, and that actually dates back to the 4th century. Mtskheta is now just a sort of a remnant, a historical remnant. So it's actually a very small town, and as Tbilisi grows bigger and bigger, and it's confined by the hills on both sides, it's stretching up and up and up. So Tbilisi is actually, it's not a huge city, but it's very long, and it's got to the point where it's almost reaching Mtskheta now. So in some ways, Mtskheta is almost a commuter town. It's only about half an hour, 40 minutes back to Tbilisi from here.
As a Buddhist person who have not much knowledge about Christianity, what I want to know is that what's the differences between the Orthodox Christian and Catholic? I mean, you're from Ireland and you were born Catholic, I suppose, right? Can you give us a little bit knowledge about it?
So the Catholic Church is the main part of the Western tradition. And it's better to call it the Western tradition in Christianity, because the Catholic tradition itself split in the 17th century with the Reformation. So the Protestant churches and the Church of England split from the Roman Catholic Church. Until then, it had been the Catholic Church based in Rome, but then it split, so now it's better to call it the Western tradition. And the Western tradition split from the Eastern tradition, which we're in now. We're in part of the area of the Eastern Rite, in about it's called the Great Schism, the Great Split, in the 11th century, about halfway through the 11th century. And prior to that, all of Christianity was split into smaller groups, all of them called Orthodox. And so the Georgian church is one of those national Orthodox churches with a patriarch at the top. And back then, before the Great Schism, there were patriarchs in Antioch and Rome and Constantinople and Alexandria in Egypt. And Georgia is one of the smaller ones, but the special thing about Georgia is that it's one of the oldest. So it goes back to the 4th century.
Is Georgian Orthodox Church different from the Russian ones? Or?
It's different in the sense that it's a different country. So it's but it's the same tradition. It's the same Orthodox tradition. It gets complex. It's not as simple as Mahayana splitting from Theravada, which is a little bit like Sunni and Shia, which goes back to the origins, and they split into two then. The Christian churches started out with several patriarchates. Georgia wasn't one of them. And originally there were 4 or 5 which is where the original Christian communities lived. But most of them were led by the Patriarch of Constantinople, which is now Istanbul.
Okay.
And Georgia is one of those. So it's first among equals. The primus inter pares was in Istanbul, old Constantinople. And Georgia was in communion with the Patriarch at Constantinople rather than the Patriarch at Rome. So it's never had close connections with Rome simply because Constantinople is a lot closer.
Yeah.
So this service has been going on for 4 hours. Starts at 9 in the morning, finishes at about 1 o'clock, and it's a celebration of the Eucharist, which is the main sacrament of the Georgian Orthodox Church.
Okay, so we're heading to the monastery up on top of Mount Jvari. So this is one of the main highlights here in Mtskheta. So if you come to Mtskheta, don't forget this temple. And we're gonna walk up there. I think the best way to get there is you can get taxi, and it costs only 20 lari, which is about $8 round trip. So the driver can wait for you. But for us, because we're quite daring and we love adventure, and yeah, I mean, I like trekking, so why not just walk out there? I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we'll get there. So my friend is leading the way, and I'm hoping that he knows the way. So I'm counting on him. So you come to Georgia, I totally recommend this place. In my opinion, I really loved it. We got here yesterday and I really enjoyed it, this small town. I mean, I'm not a big town kind of person, and this one in particular has beautiful, nice character. You know, it located along the river, and then surrounding it is the mountain. You're gonna love it here. I mean, it's not even far, it's only 20 minutes drive. No, yesterday it was 30 minutes drive from Tbilisi. It's like 20 kilometers away from Tbilisi. So yeah, totally recommend it. It's called Mtskheta. I'm not sure if I pronounce it right, but according to the logo, they pronounce it differently, but I just say the way that I feel comfortable. So yeah, I hope they forgive me for that. Look at these cows. Oh, you see that temple? That's the one that we're heading up. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it looks like a long way. You see there? It's very beautiful up there. I can't wait to see the view from above. This river is so calm and very clear. As you can see the wheat underneath. You see, along the river there's a lot of people fishing. It's amazing. Well, the weather is quite nice. Yesterday it was cloudy and it was quite cold in the evening, but today is okay. We have sunshine, and when the sun goes down, that's when it's gonna be cold. So that's why I have my hat on. I've learned my lessons. Yesterday it was freezing, and because I have Raynaud's syndrome, I don't know if I say it right, when your hands and feet and nose and ears, you know, exposed to the cold, it gets so painful. Thank you. This river is beautiful. The color is green. It looks like Blue Lagoon. And people even fish from here.
The Argosy River.
Oh, this is big baby. This is one of the many reasons I like about Georgia. You know, everywhere you go, you will have these big, beautiful fat dogs following you. They're so friendly and very tame, and it's always good to have some treat with you so you can, you know, give them something. Some of them like bread. I used to feed them with some bread and some chicken, and they love it. I don't think he's stray dog. Do you think so? Probably not. He's too well fed, too fat. Careful. Because it's so busy. Is there any gap?
No.
I think that's enough gap for us to run, but
It is, but let's just...
oh god, that was quite challenging. I even lost my way now. Okay, yeah, it's much safer even though it's filthy. The way we did was a little bit too dangerous, I think.
Yes.
Quite dangerous.
Very dangerous.
You know, the car just, you know, goes so fast.
That's the
very high speed.
That's the motorway to Sukhumi.
Oh, okay. Have you found a way yet?
Well, we can go up this way, or we can go around the other side and come back.
I don't see any path at all. Are you sure we're on the right track? Oh, look at the view of the church and the city.
Yeah. I think we go around the corner and then back up to it.
Okay, let's do that.
There are paths through there, but I can't see where they are.
Okay.
There's one there. See?
Okay.
So we'll try this. Let's finish this straight one. It's steeper.
Right. Let's do it. Let's do it, mate. You mean we just walk straight up there?
Yeah.
That's quite steep, are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes, this is the other. Yeah.
Okay.
From this side, this is how steep it is.
Okay. I mean, I'll be fine, but I just worried about you.
I'm 60.
Good. Let's go,
I'll be
mate.
fine.
Let's
hang
go,
on,
mate.
Hang on.
What?
There's more of a path is shown there,
Okay.
and that goes all the way up. Yeah, that's more of a path.
Right. So is it from here or from the other side?
Whereas from here, look, people have made their way up the top of the ridge.
Yeah.
So there's two ways. We can go on top of this ridge,
Okay.
or we can go up the valley behind that hill. I say we go up the ridge.
You mean the shortcut here?
Yeah,
Let's do that.
yeah, short and steep.
Okay. Oh, careful. I suppose that we can go down that way.
Yeah, or here.
Okay.
That's the lower top. And see the line?
Okay.
It's just here.
Well, let's do that then. This is sometimes traveling with a friend is good, but other time it can be complicated because it's not easy to compromise, you know.
You're compromising.
Ouch. Oh, careful, you know, look at these thorns, very sharp. These trees are not very friendly to you. Just be careful. Careful. Yeah, the problem is you can't hold this grass because it's very, yeah,
Bushes are very thorny.
very sharp. I wouldn't put my hand on this grass. It's getting more steeper now. Ooh. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Look at my friend, he's quite good. I was worried about him because of his age, and it turns out that he's doing better than me. He's much faster than me. You see, age just a number sometimes. Okay, let's keep on going. Okay, we are almost there. Maybe 5 minutes walk. Made it! Not on the top yet, but we made it.
We made it.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
All good?
Nice hike.
That's some spirit. Stunning. So beautiful. Oh my god. There's another couple. So pretty. Wow. It is so nice to see people walking up and down the steps and enjoying the view. The moment I got here, I instantly feel cold. So I put my jacket on. It's quite windy up here. So we're up to 656 meters elevation, and this temple is one of the earliest Orthodox churches that was built in Georgia. I think it was built sometime during the 6th century, and it's called Jvari Monastery. So it's located on top of Jvari mountain. It's also known as the Temple of the Holy Cross. I mean, the building itself looks spectacular, but the view is beyond that. So can you imagine a monk, you know, live here and waking up in the morning for the view of the city and the river? So there's the wedding ceremony going on inside, so they probably can't film much. But let's just enjoy the view.